Hello, another short little update for you this week. I've done some weaving, but not a huge amount, so we'll talk about that, obviously. I haven't made any more triangles, and I'm going to have to get on that because if I just say every week, haven't made any more triangles, the reason I'm making triangles will be lost in the mists of time. It will become a myth. It'll become a legend. I'm making a shawl, a triangle shawl, out of small woven triangles. At some point that will happen. They don't take long to make, I just have to sit down and do them. And I keep getting distracted by other things because some things are shiny. This came off the loom last night though. It's not wet finished, obviously. I haven't even trimmed the fringe, let alone twisted it. But this is the blues. As you can see, it's blue. And I'm really, really pleased with the shift in the blues. I think it's worked quite well. I like those two stripes. I like those two sort of highlight stripes where the colours are all mixed in together. I think that's really effective. I don't mean to blow my own horn, but I'm gonna. Now, this is Bendigo Wool & Mill's Prism 8-ply in the Mystic colourway, I think. Don't quote me, but I think the blue is the Mystic. And then the navy blue, which you can see there in the 3 solid stripes, is Heirloom and Heritage. I get them mixed up. It's Heirloom Baby Merino 4-ply. So there's going to be a bit of a difference in shrinkage. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. But for the time being, this is how it looks, nice and flat. So I will get those fringes twisted, and then I will wet finish it, and I will show you hopefully next week what it looks like when it's had a wash. Now, I do have something new on the loom. This came off the loom last night, and I immediately put something new on the loom because I'm dedicated and fast, and I just had a little burst of energy, and it probably won't happen again. Anyway, I'm going to grab the loom, and then I'll show you what's on it. And this is how the little loom is looking. So I did say I had a burst of energy, but clearly not enough to actually progress very far because there's the hem stitching. It's tradition, work in progress Wednesday. You can see the hem stitching. Now, this is off center. Don't worry about it. You look worried. It's fine. Just chill. On the wider loom, if I was using my 60 centimetre loom with a piece this width, I would be more inclined to make sure that it was centered. The reason being, I'm just going to get this branch over here for a minute. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Okay, you go over there. Thank you. So the reason being off-centered can be a problem is because when you beat the yarn, which is when you take the heddle and push the yarn into place, if it's really off-center, you can find out that your fell line, which is the top line here of the weaving, can go on a slant, which you don't want. Necessarily. I mean, you might be doing that on purpose for effect. I'm not your mother, I don't know what you're up to. But off-center on a loom this size with a piece this width, it's fine, don't worry about it. So the reason it's off center is because I was initially going to do 4 of these stripes, but once I'd warped up 3, I thought actually that's pretty balanced. Odd numbers tend to be more pleasing to the eye for things like stripes than even numbers do. So I do have an even number of the dark blue, obviously, but the feature stripes or the highlight stripes, there's 3. And I think that that is balanced enough, and I didn't feel like testing my theory by going to a 4th. So we're going with 3, we're going off center, it's all fine. And as you can see, I'm doing some fancy color work down here at the bottom. There's going to be 3 of these stripes, and then the other end I'm not going to do any stripes. We're going to do it asymmetrical. We're going to be exciting, we're going to be fresh. We're going to forget that we did this at the start is probably what's going to happen, so I'm just planning ahead for that. I might change my mind and decide that I will do these stripes at the other end. I won't know until I get there. Now, this yarn, I should tell you, I was about to finish up, but I didn't tell you what this yarn is. This is Bendigo Wool & Mill's Classic 8-ply in 3 different colours, and I'm going to try and remember those for you now. The blue is Napoleon blue, the red is cherry red, and the yellow is definitely one of the yellows. I can't remember which one. The trick with doing red and blue is finding a red and blue that doesn't strobe. If you were around in the early days of the World Wide Web, as I was, this branch is a situation. You go over there. A lot of people, when they built their first websites on GeoCities and whatnot, used a blue background with red text or a blue text on a red background, and it just strobes, and it's not pleasant to look at. I don't know why that was so popular. I don't know why we were making people uncomfortable with our websites. I never did it myself, obviously. So I'm really pleased because Bendigo Wool & Mills sends out a free shade card every time they update their collection. I think it's just once a year, actually. Anyway, you get a free shade card. So I was able to make sure that this blue and this red would actually work together without it strobing, and it doesn't strobe. I'm very happy. And a darker, more navy blue would probably clash a bit with the red. So that's how it stands. Hopefully by next week I will have the hem stitching, maybe even all the way around. I don't know. But that is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself and have a lovely rest of your week. And the start of next week, make that lovely as well. Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's treat yourselves. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.